Hello, Pisces, and welcome to Scouts Tarot, where curiosity and the divine align. This is your love and romance reading for the month of October 2021. And this is for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I've already pre-shuffled and pulled your cards, so we will jump right in. So for the month of October, Pisces, the energy that you're carrying with you, or that you're bringing into a relationship, or what, the energy you're presenting for a potential or incoming relationship, is the Death card. And Death card does represent like the ultimate transformation, right? That however it is, if this is a current relationship, how you're expressing yourself in a current relationship has shifted dramatically, right? Like maybe you're expressing your love in a different way. Like maybe you're not as physically affectionate, or maybe now you're more physically affectionate, and you may be throwing your partner off, right? Maybe you want to sit down and talk about stuff, and they're like, we never talked about stuff. What are you doing? Something like that. Something that is a dramatic shift from the normal, from what you thought was what you needed from a relationship, right? Or what you thought you were offering, your partner in a relationship. That concept has now shifted. Something changed, or you became aware of habits, tendencies, behaviors, mannerisms, whatever it might be, that something has come to light and you have let that go, right? It doesn't serve you anymore. So the energy in that current relationship is you're not expressing yourself or loving your partner, or expressing how you want to be treated in your relationship the same way. Something has changed. And if this is an incoming relationship, Pisces, that it could be that the way you found your partner, your previous partners, or the way you treated a partner from before, like you've learned from that lesson, right? That you're like, wow, that was effed up, or wow, I really didn't need to be treated that way. Like whatever it was from the past that affected, your approach to relationships, that's shifted, right? And again, this is the energy going into the month of October. And it's now that you're able to look back over the past, again, incoming relationship, that you're now approaching new relationships in a different way. That instead of, immediately knocking down, those connections that you made at a coffee shop, or, the deli, or whatever it is, you're like, you know what? I am going to ask that girl for her number. Or, you know what? I will sit down and engage in a conversation with this guy, whatever it might be. And, be smart about it. Like if you're not in a safe space, you don't feel safe, like, you're an intelligent person, Pisces. So, you use discretion is advised, user discretion. But I feel like you're changing how you're going about, how you meet people, or where you connect with folks, or how much you reveal about yourself, and vice versa. Like how much you're willing to accept from another person in an incoming relationship. Which then brings us to your partner's energy in this relationship throughout the month of October. And that's the Three of Pentacles, which is a lot about like collaboration, right? It's coming together to either work on a project, complete a task, whatever it might be. And it's generally with, folks that you know. So if this is, an incoming relationship or potential relationship, something on the horizon, that you may be putting yourself in Pisces, be putting yourself in a new space where you may, hang out with close friends, or you may be developing your partnerships with close friends. And one of those close friends could, take your, catch your attention, and vice versa, that you may catch their attention. That by, building out your platonic connections with people, that you're deepening how you express yourself, right? That you're allowing other aspects of your personality and your emotional needs to be expressed in a platonic way, which then allows, some differentiation to be made with your romantic connections. And I feel like when when your potential partner comes in, that it'll be in a space where it may be coming from a platonic connection, and growing from that. Again, this might not resonate with everyone, but that's just how I'm feeling it. Is that like you are going to find yourself like, what are those, paint and sip nights, something like that, where you go out and you paint the thing and you're drinking wine and you're having a good time with somebody or a close group of friends, or maybe it's just a meetup, right? Remember, transformation, you're approaching future relationships in a different way. Maybe now you are going to do meetups where before you were like, yeah, I'm not doing that. That's cute. That's what the kids do on the TV shows, or assuming you're like a 45-year-old grandma going on dates here. Like, wow, 45-year-old grandma. Wow, that's really young. I am, anywho. So you may find yourself in a space where you're connecting with somebody in a, through creativity, right? Something that's hands-on. I'm finding, like, you could be like interested in gardening, so you go to the community garden and you're sitting there trying to repot, I don't know, dandelions or whatever it is that you're doing, Pisces, that you find yourself in just a new space doing new things, and that new approach is what is attracting you energy to you, which then leads us to our overarching energy for the month of October, which is the Judgment card. So you got, again, big energies here with two major arcanas. The Judgment card does represent, like, I like to say resurrection, but maybe reconciliation, right? That you're, by approaching your relationships differently and by putting yourself in a space where a future partner can come towards you, or if this is a current relationship, by transforming yourself and how you express your love, that your partner may need to get creative and discover, new ways to connect with you, new ways to express themselves. Like, if they need to start crocheting hats for you, because that's a new way for them to physically express love, and that's what you need. Like, you need a more physical, tangible expression of love outside of, like, physical affection. Maybe your partner's like, all right, well, let me try this. How's that? Does that vibe with you? Is that, I feel like they're going to try to get creative in order to maintain that connection. That the issue is that you may need to, come to a difficult choice to be like, okay, look, I don't like crocheting. You don't even, like, I don't need this, or I'm doing this differently. Again, current relationship. So if you may find yourself in a place where, like, you might not be able to reconcile your differences, and you might need to make that tough call, right? That with death, there is also, there's relief, but there's also pain, right? There's also struggle. There's also, like, this is something that is forever, maybe not forever, but, like, this is a critical change in transformation, that if your partner is unable to align with what that change is, or can't meet the needs that you now have, or you're not meeting the needs that they have, that you may need to, that might be time to call it, right? Gabriel with the clarion call, like, you may need to be like, all right, we tried, I guess that's it. And I'm not saying, like, you need to end a relationship or anything like that, but you may need to at least have these conversations, Pisces, to be like, look, I'm expressing myself differently. I need different things. Like, I really enjoy being able to go out, Sunday morning on a walk with you, and, hold hands while we, whatever it is that you need, Pisces, from your partner. If they can't meet that need, if they're like, look, I work until 3 a.m. Saturday nights, I can't do that. Like, just, if that's something that you guys, like, if that's like a go, no go type thing for you, then you guys need to lay that out and decide if, if the relationship can be reconciled, or if that's it, if that, put that puppy in the coffin and that's that. And then if this is an incoming relationship, Pisces, that it could very well represent, the past coming back up for you to revisit. So let's say you find yourself in this collaborative gardening space and you're replanting them dandelions, and then the person who's across from you who's doing the marigolds, was that my ex? Oh, shh. Like, you may find yourself facing your demons, right? In the month of October, where you may need to, you know what? I was this kind of person, or in fact, when I told you that I wasn't okay with this and you did it anyway, that was the line for me. Like, you may need to have that tough conversation, Pisces, if you should encounter somebody from your past, or, you're in a new relationship and you may encounter, an experience, something that reminds you of an issue that you had with the previous, partner. And you're like, oh, wait a second. We got to nip this shit in the bud now, because I'm not carrying that with me. Like, we different now. You transformed, right? You're leaving behind that which doesn't serve you anymore. So Pisces, if you got to lay it down, like, look, we need to review some shit here. We need to make sure we're on the same fucking page, because we ain't about this life. Okay, Pisces, so let's get some advice from the Lover's Oracle deck. See what we can do in the month of October. Let's see. What advice do we have for Pisces for the month of October? Ooh, there it is. Fully, oh my gosh, these cards, work with me. Just get back into a shape so it looks pretty. All right, there we go. So we have this beautiful blue card. And it says, acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times, we must accept things as they are. There is no point trying to change that which is beyond our control. Yeah, that is hard, like judgment energy, judgment day energy here, Pisces, of, look, as much as you may want your, to have your current relationship last, as much as you want to be able to reconcile those differences, that if there's some things that your partner is just not able to meet your needs on, is not able to, align with your wants and desires, and of course, vice versa, because a partnership is two ways. If there's something that your partner needs from you that you're not able to meet anymore, that you may need to accept that's maybe this isn't meant to be. And it's not an easy call to make, right? Like, death is hard, and being judged on past actions is not easy either. It's not always a good feeling when you're not able to deal with what doesn't work out. And so this advice card is just reminding you, like, that's okay. Like, sometimes you can't control other people's feelings towards you, and you can't control or necessarily change how you feel about somebody else if it doesn't give you what you need, Pisces. Don't force it. Don't force it to work. And if this is an incoming relationship and you meet somebody in a cool space, and yeah, maybe it's your ex with the marigolds, and you're like, oh shit. If you guys haven't grown enough, or if you change to a point that they're not comfortable with, then okay, at least now you know, and you accept it and you move on, right? Like, yeah, we didn't work out for a reason. I'm cool with that. But if you find yourself in a new relationship and it's like, okay, didn't really mesh there, we're not really vibing here, don't force it, right? Accept that there are things that you can't change and you can't control, and that isn't necessarily the divine connection for you. Which that's part of the journey of life, is, right? Finding those folks that we have that connection with, and growing it. So Pisces, that does conclude your October love and romance reading. I do hope that this resonated, and that this says, allow you to approach your love life with more, I don't want to say like apprehension, that's not the right word for it, but at least some more insight. Yeah, insight into potentialities. Because I know Pisces is, from the general readings that I did earlier in the month, that September and October are big months for you for transformation overall. So this may be a great opportunity for you to, take those same energies from the general and put that into your romance and partnership space as well. Like, look, if we're changing this, we should probably change this too, because if those don't align, you're not going to be able to have that inner peace, so you can attract those divine connections. But again, hope this resonated. Have a great October, and I will see you in November, Pisces.